G sits the first lap of 1:26.446. I'm sure it'll take a while to tumble down. Spaniards can't get there, but yeah, Tyne needs to get a win on the board if he wants to concrete his championship lead and extend even further.
Just trying to make sure that the F3 broadcast is shown on YouTube, because I can't quite see that it was on the YouTube channel. I do apologise for those who are trying to tune in. It is broadcast to the public, so I don't understand why the YouTube channel isn't exactly picking it up at the moment. But what I can tell you is that Top G is top of the timing page, so we're 1:26.4. Then we've got Devon in second place. Last week's race winner, Ruti Hullett, is in third place, with Spanias in fourth. Block is in fifth as Tyne, the championship leader, goes up into fourth position. Plenty more drivers heading over the line. Daniela going up into fourth position as well. What about those crossing over the line? Renz has gone P6 for a moment, but he's been pushed down by the Alfa Romeo of Dadopad, who goes into second place. And he's less than a tenth off the fastest time by Top G.
Tom, I only think it started broadcasting about a minute ago.
Yeah, because I stopped the broadcast because I didn't think it was actually being shown to the public, even though I was convinced it was being shown to the public, but actually it wasn't. So I stopped it very quickly and put it back up again. So that may well explain it.
Is it like unlisted or something?
No, it should say public. I think it's on there now. I can see it's on there now. So, so if you have joined us, or the broadcast was late and you were wondering what was going on, we do apologise for that. But the good news is you haven't missed too much. All we've been discussing is about the first lap times, what happened last week in Austria, and the championship table at the moment. I will remind you, it is 7 points the gap between Tyne in the lead in the Red Bull and Daniela in second place in the Alpine. We've got a few more drivers crossing over the line or heading towards the line. This is Twist, who's one of the reserve drivers coming in for this evening. He's heading towards the line now in the Haas. I think he's a reserve anyway. Either way, he's crossing over the line and he goes up to P10 with that lap time. It's a high 1:26, a 1:26.8. And we've got 6 drivers still yet to get a time on the board, including the most experienced driver on the grid. That is Little Blocks, returning after a race ban in the Aston Martin. He's not got a time on the board. He'll have to go around again to get his next time done. What have you picked up on, Logan? What can you tell me?
I was just seeing Tyne got jumped by Renz in the pits just before the pits, and I thought that Renz wasn't going to make it, but he's alright. Most of the drivers have set their lap. Only 14 drivers have set a lap so far, which shows that this track demands perfection from all corners. To be fair, no offense to stereotype, but the Japanese demand perfection from everywhere, for fact. And that's what I love about this country. They want perfection everywhere. I know you can't be totally perfect, but I only see one driver on a lap, or 2 drivers on a lap, Twist and Tito, but they're right next to each other.
Yeah, well, I can say that Tito has actually exceeded track limits at the spoon curve, so he may as well come back into the pits and get another set of soft tyres on. Although it's a 5.8 kilometre circuit, but it is a quick circuit at Suzuka. It's very fast flowing, so I don't think, providing you don't dawdle around too much or wait in the pits for too long, I think you can get round and back to the pit lane, you know, get your out lap done, get your flying lap done, and get your in lap completed in the space of 5 minutes, more or less.
Yes, indeed. We should just mention no one's on a lap right now. Ruti Hullett and Spanias on a lap right now. The top time, 1:26.446, which is about 6 tenths and change ahead of Dadopad. And then that's just over a tenth ahead of Devon. A quarter of a second behind the top time is Ruti, and then 4 thousandths behind him is Daniele. And Tyne, also just over a quarter of a second behind at 2.62 milliseconds. But yes, long way to go, of course. Still got 6 drivers to set a lap. Lickle Blocks, Toxic, Edrix, Mohammed, Cherno, and Teddo, who's making his first appearance since, I believe, it's week 2. And, hold on, Marcus Costa in the intermediates? That can't be right.
Well, he has been out on a set of intermediates, as far as I know, and I think the reason why he did that was to save a set of soft tyres, perhaps for the race later today. So that may well explain your point there. Carrying the number 6 on his car as well. I don't even know for
Rosberg.
certain if he's actually raced in the PSGL in the past. He's one of the couple of drivers who have been wanting to know whether he's actually been involved in the PSGL in the past, but I don't want to assume that he is a rookie.
We could do some deep researching into that. Spanias is on a lap. He's got to be careful of any traffic ahead, especially on this narrow course. Look, there's only about like 2 or 3 car whips into Degner. But at least one of the drivers is letting him through is that Ferrari there. Coming through to the hairpin, the tightest corner on the track by sure. And he's got to be careful of that Aston Martin coming through, but he lets him through and he's on the inside nicely. Through to the spoon curve we go. This is where it could be won or lost. Nicely on the curbs, doesn't brush them too much, doesn't lose much time, and he's out there. Towards 130R we go into the support paddock now, which is what they use for the western side of the circuit. Through 130R at about 200 miles an hour, and now to this Casio triangle where Senna and Prost famously or infamously collided. Out of the corner he goes, he's lost it! He's lost a lot of time out of that corner, and he sets only 7th best and only 800ths higher. He'll be kicking himself after that final corner blunder. He could have been on a flyer there.
Well, that was very unfortunate there, but at least he bettered his time from before. He knows he's got more time left on the table. He'll have another go at it later on. Edrix is on circuit. One driver that is worth of keeping an eye on is Matteo, who is in P13, a previous race winner at this track in the PSGL in season 31 in F4, and he's going for glory here in the Williams. He's only 13th at the moment, so I would expect him to make his way up the order in due course. This is Edrix, who we know from F5 last season, Logan, as he approaches the line now, and this puts him up to P4 with 126.6.
Dadopad. And Dadopad takes the top time with a time half a tenth faster than Top G. And I'm sure that time will go down soon because, of course, Ruti Hullet actually tried to settle up but invalidated. So did Devon. So they'll both have to go again. They'll probably have one shot. I don't think they're going to have two. And Armateo goes up the orders third, 1.5 tenths down. LRB goes to 0.166, about a sixth of a second behind, but Daniela goes 2 tenths bang on faster than Daropad. This is the Daniela we know and want to see perform much better, and he's there. The race winner in Qatar takes the provisional pole for now. Christian Block, a third of a second now, goes into fourth. Armateo just letting cars through, including LRB, who's already set a lap, and I think he's just doing his in lap now. But it's now Daniela up on the top spot for now.
It is, and Tyne is only in P11 at the moment. He's got some work to do from where he is. Top G returns to the top with a 126.1, and he's over 300s ahead of Daniela. We've got the 2 Aston Martins on a fast lap, including Toxic Tomato, who is twice a podium finisher, I should say, in the past, in F3 in season 31 and in F2 in season 24, and he's going for his 3rd podium finish, and ideally he'll be wanting to go for the race win.
He will indeed. Of course, remember we had 5 winners in 5 different races. 5 different winners in 5 races. Ricky Hullet, Rand, Top G, Armateo, Daniela, and Ricky Hullet last week in that order. And Tyne, the championship leader, has yet to win, and he wants to get up there on that top step. And if he wants to, he's got to set a banger of a lap here. Coming out, actually, no, he's got no fuel. Sorry, he's got no fuel. I keep forgetting that sometimes. Only 2 drivers have not set a lap, and they're both Aston Martins. Liquid Blocks and Toxic Tomato. We need to get out there if we want to get on the board and have a nice position for the race. It doesn't look like it's going to be happening now. I only see one of them in the pits, and one of them has to come back in the pits as the time is taken away for the Aston Martin boys. They need to get on the board as soon as.
Yeah, they'll probably have one more go at it with only 4.5 minutes left on the clock as the drivers make their way around. Tyne is up into 3rd place then, so he's in a familiar kind of position to where he should be at. But he is behind Daniela, who's in P2. Top G at the top of the timing pages. Drivers making their way back into the pits for their last change of tyres. They've got enough time to do it as Twist makes his way through. There is a driver, I think, slowing down. Is that an AlphaTauri that's slowing down there as he goes through? Oh, I think that was the other Haas, actually. And what have you picked on there, Logan? What can you tell me?
Twist nearly lost it in the pit lane. He hit the attenuator. He didn't go out, but he could have been much more disastrous if he was just a few more centimetres away from what happened. That was a close one for Twist, but he's still in. Rudy Hullett, is he setting a lap?
He's on his last time lap. So he's actually on a lap, Rudy Hullett. He's trying to beat the queue at the moment so he doesn't get caught up in traffic. Well, he's not going to have any more traffic between now and the end of the lap, so he's got to make this one count as Hullett, as he makes his way through the spoon curb. But he's exceeded track. Yep, he's exceeded track limit. So if I was him, I'd duck straight into the pit lane and get another set of tyres on.
He has to. I noticed he had like half a litre of fuel, half a lap of fuel left, so he would have to make a long slog back to the pits, and he probably wouldn't make it in time. So he would probably have to. Yeah, he's got to come in now. Yeah, he will get another time on the board, I'm sure.
Yeah, so he's going in as quickly as he can with 3 minutes to go. He should have enough time. He'll probably be at the back of the queue as the cars make their way out onto the circuit for one last time. Toxic Tomato is ahead of this queue. And who's your money on for pole then, Logan? Who are you going for?
Oh, why do you put me on the spot every week? I cannot decide. At this level, it could be anyone. It could be Top G, it could be Danielle, it could be Tyne, could be even Devon, in all honesty. But of course, this is their last chance. So Toxic Tomato is leading the queue. He's yet to set a time. Lickle Blocks as well. It's not been a welcome return for him after his suspension. He needs to get up there, and I've said this so many times. Mohammed is 1.7 seconds down, not a representable time at all when you see all the times. The top 10 are separated by less than half a second. Fine margins, but that's what this sport is all about. Fine margins. We fight to get every fraction of a second into our hands. The more fraction of a second you get, the more chance you have of winning. And everyone is out there. Pretty much everyone, and at this rate they will make it. Rudy Hullett is last, so he's got to be careful, and he's also got to be careful of all the traffic. If anyone backs off on their lap, he's got to take evasive action. This is it then, the final frontier of this session, and Toxic Tomato will lead us off.
Yep, so he'll be the first driver to cross over line to start the last timed laps. He's got to make this one count. There's no time on the board yet for him, so this is where he has to absolutely give it all. Christian must have been given a grid drop for illegal blocking. Now that is something he'll have to...
Yeah, that'll be restart.
Yeah, so whatever
happens... session restart after session, sorry.
So that whatever happens, it may have to be a lobby restart, so we make sure we get the correct grid order. But Toxic Tomato is on a lap now, and Top G's been penalised. Yeah. We had this situation in Austria last week, didn't we? Where someone... I think it was Matteo that got a grid drop at first, but that was... the guy... Yeah, so that is something in which the game probably needs to be looked at to avoid a situation like this happening again.
The guy's not even close to him. He's done it again! What the heck? This is so unfair. Actually, there's some damage on the track. So, I don't know what happened. It must have been an accident. I know he wouldn't do it intentionally. Someone's got damage. I don't know who, but... someone has got damage, and I can't really see who. I think it's the Haas. Twist has got damage. He probably went into the back of one of the cars, and Christian Block has went off the track. He's made a mistake in what is that turn number 5. He's went off at turn number 5, so that's his chance as a pole position gone as the final few cars cross the line. Now it is... Whoa! And yeah, no, that's Christian Block again. Sorry, he just went through a massive barrier, and as Rudy Hullett crossed the line, yes, he has crossed the line. Time has run out. The other Haas has retired. Moustaches went off. Moustaches went off at turn, and so is Marcus Costa. Marcus Costa is out as well. So that means he will not get any further. And Top G's made a mistake. It's chaos. Absolute chaos. What is going on? Mohammed's gone up to the top, though. The third place, though.
Yeah, so he's in third place. Daniela is coming towards the end of his last timed lap, and it's looking good for him to snatch pole position away from Top G at the moment as he crosses over the line. Can Daniela get on pole? Yes, he can for the time being, but we need to work out for Tyne, because Tyne is coming through Sector 2. It wasn't the best of sectors in Sector 1, and he's not going any quicker through Sector 2 either.
Data pad goes off. And Christian Block is still breaking advertisement hoardings. He'll be paying for that. But here comes Ty out of the final corner, but he's way slower. I don't think he's going to make it, you know. He is not even improved. 2 tips down. So he'll be starting in 5th. Now, Top G, he's already set his lap. He's already made a mistake, so he won't go any further. Christian Block's made a mistake. I think, unless Ricky Hurlett, no, he's slowed down as well. I think this is Daniela's pole. Yeah, it's Daniel's pole. This is over. Yeah,
this is done because Little Blocks is not going any quick. Is not going quick at the moment, and Rudy Hollett's timing of getting his last time in is he's only 16th. Is Rudy Hollett, so the race winner of last week, only 16th on the grid here.
Yeah, and we will be getting a lobby restart. Top G, I saw it happen. He did nothing wrong. It's just the game hates this, and it's you know, this qualifying system is very unfair, especially when you're going on an outlap queuing up. It needs to be looked at seriously. I think either or turn it off for this session. We should fix that ASAP. Is Danielle, Top G, Mohammed, or Mateo, and Tyne your top 5? Then Teddo, Renz, Daropat, Toxic Tomato, and Christian Block your top 10. I've been told 11th place OP Twist is being investigated, not invalidated, for incidents involving, is it Mohammed and Lico Blocks?
Yeah.
Lico Blocks, I believe, did not set a time. No, he did not. Everyone within a second except for Lico Blocks. But we will not be starting now because, of course, Christian Block's got a penalty. Top G's got 2 penalties. They're going to be removed as soon as. We'll have to restart the session as a result.
Yeah. So let's just run down on the results of the qualifying session, Logan. Daniel on pole with Top G second, Mohammed and Mateo on row 2, Tyne and Tito, Renz, Delopod, Toxic Tomato and Christian Block in the top 10, Twist, LRB, Spanias and Edrix are on row 7, followed by Devon, Hullet 16th, Acosta, Cherno, Moustache and Little Blocks. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't be at all surprised if Twist has been found guilty of impeding other drivers. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he ends up being given a grid drop for the race in this one.
I'm not sure. I think we don't have enough time to investigate. I'm afraid. So I think we might have no choice other than to start it the way it is. I know it sounds unfair, but we don't have enough time for investigations. I mean, if it was like a day, a few hours separated, yeah, of course, like they do in esports, but this is just a league, a community league, and of course nothing's going to be perfect. We're not super duper serious, but you know, we try and maintain a fair level of competition, so please ignore I'm going to lead the session as well. Everything you're seeing right now, it is all a lie.
Yeah, so we're just seeing drivers leaving the lobby now, and to be honest with you, I might as well do the same thing. So whilst we're waiting for a new invite to a new lobby, we can just sort of reflect on what we discovered about that session in qualifying, because it was interesting. You know, we saw some brilliant signs, particularly from Top G, from Daniela, who got the pole position at the end. Just looking to see if that is his first pole of the season for Daniela. I think he may have been. I think he's been on pole already this season at Silverstone. So that's his second pole of the campaign for Daniela. The last time he was on pole, he ended up finishing 5th in the race, and he'll be hoping to go one better here. Well, go 4 better, I should say, in Japan.
Absolutely. So, for those of you just joining, we will be restarting the session due to difficulties, unfortunately. Thanks, Codemasters. I almost forgot, I didn't get the notes you sended. I'll get them now.
Whilst we are having a look at those notes, actually, Looking at who's raced in the past, Mohammed's raced twice at Suzuka in the past in the PSGL, 4th in F5 in season 31, 10th in F4 in season 26. Tyne has finished 2nd in the past in F9 in season 31. That was a season where he dominated so well, in fact, before he moved on. Well, I say dominated, he actually finished 2nd with 110 points, including 3 wins. But he was a very quick driver. He was one of the best drivers within that division anyway. We mentioned Littleblocks, who apparently has been around in the PSGL since season 18. He had some hiatuses during that time, but nevertheless, the fact he's been around for that long tells you everything you need to know.
Yes. So, are we getting this invite? No, we're not.
Daniela has already picked up a win this season in Qatar. That was 2 rounds ago. Go with the win that he picked up last season in F4 in Bahrain. So he's twice a race winner in the PSGL. And should he win today, that will most certainly close down the gap to Tyne in the championship. If not, take the lead. He has a chance to actually take the lead of the championship, should results go for him at Suzuka. And understanding more about Suzuka, it's had some hiatuses in hosting Formula 1 over the years, but it took 25 years after it opened in 1962 before it hosted Formula 1 in 1987. Hosted the Japanese Grand Prix for 20 years in a row. Then the Grand Prix itself moved to Fuji for a couple of years before it returned to Suzuka. Wasn't around in 2020 or in 2021 because of the pandemic, but it was on the calendar.
COVID.
Yep. But it was on the calendar last year, and it will soon be hosting its race in September this year. It'll be hosting its Grand Prix next month. And I think it could well be the last time they host it at that time of the year for a while, because the Japanese Grand Prix for 2024 is set to be held in the month of April.
Yes, April, and that's when the weather is much better in Japan. As you know, they have typhoons in September, October. Of course, 2014 happened tragically. I believe it was 20... was it 20? Sure, there was another year as well where it stopped. 2022 as well, of course. There was a massive rainstorm and we nearly got going. Never got going at all, nearly. But we did have a race, which shouldn't have been full points to be fair. But of course, the rules were written as is, and Max Verstappen won the championship because of it. So there we go. Oh my god, I've accidentally closed out of Google Chrome by accident.
Well, whilst you are trying to get back on the internet and looking at the calendar for Formula 1 in 2024, the Japanese Grand Prix is set to be held on April the 7th, round 4 of the championship, which would be 2 weeks after the Australian Grand Prix, and after Japan, it would be the Chinese Grand Prix. So the calendar for Formula 1 next year is looked to be quite different to recent years, but, you know, you can tell logistically, you can tell that Formula 1 are trying to do the best they can to help accommodate races and trying to regionalise the calendar a little bit more. I would say there's more work still to be done, but it's heading in the right direction nevertheless.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. So, we're still trying to get underway, by the way. We get everything up, and I've not spectated yet. Silly me.
Mention about the configurations of Suzuka, the west configuration of the circuit, which is essentially the pit straight for it is on where the back straight before 130R is, and they, instead of going through the Casio Triangle chicane, they take the route of which Nicholas Latifi nearly tried to, well, I say nearly tried, he inadvertently went through, or nearly inadvertently went through, except that there was a barrier in the way. That sort of leads back onto where the Dunlop curve is and the Degner curves, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yes, of course. One of the more famous curves, I believe it's the one before Degner, the large uphill climb on the left. Yeah, pretty fun.
Yeah.
still trying to get everyone in before he can set the grid, of course.
Also, the E-Circuit configuration, which had previously been in the F1 games in the past, before they were removed by Codemasters. Yeah, but I even remember that configuration from the days of Ferrari F355 Challenge on the Sega Dreamcast. Yes, we are going back that far. Further in my time. I'm a little bit older than Logan, in case everyone's wondering. But yeah, that just, when I see that configuration, I just think Ferrari F355 Challenge.
Yeah, exactly. Brilliant game.
So we're waiting for the grid to be reformed because of a glitch with the game itself that's given drivers grid penalties. In terms of the incident involving Twist, which a number of drivers have called him out for during that qualifying session because they feel he might have been in the way on their laps, there could well be a steward's investigation after the race because they can be given penalty points which can go towards a race ban or a qualifying ban.
Yes. That's the rules. That's what they've been in place for many years. Very little change.
Marios isn't competing this evening. Matteo has a chance to make his way up the order, despite the fact that he is actually a reserve as well. But Ruti Hullet, from 16th on the grid, he's going to have his work cut out. So what strategy do you think the drivers are considering doing? Because we've seen in the F4 race earlier this evening that some drivers were starting the race on the soft compound as opposed to the mediums, and the rest on the hards. Are we going to see that?
Yeah, I think they could be soft hard, or I'm not sure soft medium is durable. I know the tires are more, they take more care of the tires in this game than previous years, so we could be seeing the soft tire tonight for once. I haven't seen the race yet, of course, because I was somewhere else, but we could be seeing some heck of a race tonight. We could be seeing another unpredictable race. There seem to be a lot of unpredictable races this year. Safety car could throw a spanner in the works as well.
So we should be seeing the grid form up as we speak. We're seeing a couple of drivers readying up at the moment. That doesn't mean to say we're ready to go, although Renz is ready up, as is Edric, so we are almost ready to go. But this is an opportunity to mention the league's title sponsors that are GT Omega. You can use PSGL at the checkout for 5% off on any GT Omega products. So if you've got like a gaming show in mind you want to purchase, well, you can get yourself a little bit of a discount on that on the GT Omega website for anything that you can get. It could be a wheel set or a rig or something like that. You can use it for, but it's there.
Here we go.
Yeah, so the drivers are readying up now. And don't forget to follow on social media as well on what is now X instead of Twitter. And then you've got Instagram and we've got Discord as well. And there's also the PSGL website to keep up to date with all the action that's happening and all the stats and everything else. Calendars, and a bit of news that's going on. So do make sure you subscribe as well. At the time of recording, over 38,500 subscribers. You haven't done so in terms of subscribing, now is your chance to do so before this race gets underway. Don't forget to leave a like as well if you ever so wish to do, and get involved in the live chat, and do feel free to ask any questions as the event goes on.
So let's get to it.
So we've got Daniela on pole then for the Japanese Grand Prix with Top G alongside. It's Mohammed and Matteo on the second row. Tyne and Tito are on row 3, followed by Renz and Dalopad. Toxic Tomato and Christian Block are rounding out the top 10. Twist and LRB are 11th and 12th. Spanius and Edrix are 13th and 14th ahead of Devon and Ruti Hullet, who's got his work cut out from 16th on the grid. Marcus Costa and Cherno are on the 9th row with Moustache and Nickel Blocks bringing up the rear. So I'll ask you very quickly, Logan, who are you going for victory?
See, the inner heart in me wants to see Tyne win, because that means we'll have 6 different winners. But, you know, we could see, if Daniela keeps us cool, we could see our first repeat winner tonight. Of course, 27 laps of racing to come. It's going to be, oh yeah, guys, don't forget your setups. Don't forget your setups. If you forget your setup, you're not going to perform. You know the rules. So let's look. Right. I think we're all ready. We're just waiting for everyone. Last time Top G forgot his setup when we restarted, so that didn't go down well.
Oh, and he needs to make sure he doesn't forget this time around either. And to be fair, on a track like Suzuka, it is very much a mixture of downforce and straight line speed. So all is not lost if he gets to get his setup done properly.
Absolutely.
So we're just waiting for the countdown. There's no formation lap, by the way. The 5 red lights are on, and we are ready to go for the race here at Suzuka in F3 in the PSGL. And it's lights out, and away we go. And Daniela gets off to a very good start. Top G trying to fend off the other Alpine of Mohammed, who goes to the outside as they head it into the first turn. Daniela leads. Top G in second place. We've got Mohammed in third place, and Matteo and Tyne. Tito is 6th in the Alfa Romeo, followed by Renz, and Toxic Tomatoes got in front of Delapad as they make their way through the S's. LRB running out the top 10, but it looks to be a rather standard start at the head of the field, Logan.
Yes, and already Daniel has a 7/10 lead. He wants to be that first repeat winner, but so does Top G behind. Mohammed and Tyne want to get their first one on the board and make it 6 for 6 in terms of different winners. And we've got a bit of an incident there, and it looks like Toxic Tomato wants to make a move on Renz on the outside. A brave move, but I think Renz has got this one here. Yes, he has. And as consequence, here comes Danopad. He's going to have a chance at Toxic Tomato's 8th place, and he's been pushed off. He's been pushed off, and he goes on the track. Meanwhile, further down, Devon has lost several positions. Danopad loses several positions as well after that incident, and now he's got Christian Block to fend off, as well as Marcus Coster. And Christian Block has went wide, and Marcus Coster will take his position. And he's nearly gone off the track again as well. He's going to get a warning for that. Cherno is going to try and take position for 15th place. But it is a massive gap, by the way, between second and third. 1.3 seconds. And Tyne is just hounding that Alpine, the other Alpine of Mohammed, as they come out of the final turn and begin lap number 2.
Yeah, there's Bolla being kicked up at the Castillo Triangle chicane. I have to say, Renz has actually got damage to his front wing. You see, he hit the back of someone at the second Degner corner, and he's come into the pits, as is Christian Block. So both of them in the pits. Devon went into the gravel trap at the hairpin before coming down to Spoon. So he's coming in for a change of tyres. And it's a mixture of strategies actually going on, and we've got an incident that is that Spanius off the chart? Yes, it is. Yeah, so both McLarens have been in trouble already in this race. Thankfully, no VSC or a safety car as the field continue on the second lap. Daniela on the soft compound, Top G on the mediums, Tyne on the softs.
Tyne on the softs, and he's already making ground. He wants to get that first win on the board and extend his championship lead even further. You don't have to win all the races, but it really does help if you get those wins tallied on the board. As I should mention, Tito, our reserve, who's only been here, I think, once, is making his way up the grid. He's now on 6th place, just behind Armateo, who has already won this season, albeit after the race. And that's Twist getting past LRB. Twist was giving a bit of stick for his incidents in qualifying, which will be investigated, I'm sure. But here he goes, Top G on the outside of the Casio Triangle. But he breaks very early compared to Danielle. And Daniela holds on to his lead for the meantime. Coming out of the first, for the first time, the DRS will be on after this. And there it is. It won't be on this lap. Tyne has already set the fastest lap. And he's chasing the 2 leaders who are going into the first corner. But no action after that into the right-hand curves. So it is going to be quite hot and up. By the way, Top G doing very well catching up on Daniela on those mediums.
Yes, and one driver who's flying at the moment is Rizzi Hollett, who's coming up from 16th on the grid and is already in 8th position. So he's on a roll, is the man who won out in Austria last week and is right behind the reserve driver Tito as they come up towards the Degner curves. So Daniel in the lead then, Top G in second, Tyne in third. Mohamed's dropping back a little bit actually from Tyne and falling back into the clutches of Matteo, who's a previous race winner at this track in the PSGL. He's in 5th place. Toxic Tomato looking to build on his 2 podiums at Suzuka in the past. He's in 6th place.
6th place, yes, and they probably didn't have the best start of this session, did Aston Martin in qualifying, but Toxic Tomato made up for it, got a decent position, and is now working his way up the order and behind Mateo, who is trying to chase up get a cred of Mohamed, but it isn't happening for him. They're both on hard tyres, I should mention. Going back to the top of the field, Top G putting a lot of pressure on Daniela. He's playing the psychological game, and he's going to have the DRS game coming up as well, because this is the first lap where you'll be allowed to use the drag reduction. And out it goes, the letterbox shaped contraption, and here he goes, his first chance at the lead into the first corner, but Daniela holding his inside line and keeps his lead for now. And Toxic Tomato gets ahead of Mateo and up into 5th, an impressive showing from one of the veterans of this league. And we have an incident again, and Moustache. I believe it's the Moustache who is off the track and back down in 16th place. Is Christian Block bringing up the rear, who has had, I have to say, a dismal race today. He had a dismal end to qualifying, he went off, broke so many advertising hoardings. Cannot imagine how much stick he's going to get from Qatar Airways and MSC and the like, but they have set them up and put replacement ones on, and thankfully none of the fans took it, as Spanish the first driver to get track limits penalties.
Yes, so don't be at all surprised to see Minimod coming out, and Daniel running wide at the Spinker. Wouldn't be at all surprised to be given a warning. What have you picked up there, Logan?
The two Williams are fighting, and they touched each other for a second. No damage done, but that was crazy. In Spoon Curve as well, Bertie Hillett touched the back of Mateo. He's going to try and make it 10 positions gained in the first 4 laps. Ahead of him, it's Toxic Tomato and Mohamed nearly coming to blows. But look who's joined the top position fight.
He's quite far back actually. He'll get the DRS open, but I imagine he'll be too far back to have a go. Looking at the ERS they've got at the moment, Top G's got 38%, Diana's got a whole lot more in there, and Tyne is pretty much in between those two in terms of the amount of ERS he's got left. So he stays in 3rd place. Mateo getting past Mohamed now and back up into 5th position.
Yeah, Mohamed actually went wide. Mohamed or Mateo. Toxic Tomato and Mohamed were fighting for 4th, but Mohamed went wide and lost an extra position to Mateo just to add insult to injury, and now he might lose 6 to Bertie Hillett, who is trying to make it again 10 for 10 in the first 5 laps. It's just insane, the pace on this guy. He almost won in Britain. He won last week, thankfully, after an intense battle with Rennes, but here he comes, trying to get everything, all his ERS getting used up right there, and through to Spoon Curve we come, but he's gonna have to wait this out. 130R could be the moment he makes the move. That would be quite a bold one, I assume that, as the leader's coming filtering through to 130R now.
So Daniela coming through, as is Top G. 4/10 is the gap between those as they make their way through the Casio Triangle chicane. Daniela coming through, as is Top G, as is Tyne, who's a little bit too far out of reach. He'll get the DRS open. Oh, that's a mistake from Daniela. He's off the track.
Oh!
And Daniela has lost the race lead and 2nd position to Tyne. That was a bad error, and I think he got caught out by the bump as they went through that sweeping right-hander onto the pit straight. But Daniela has handed the lead over, and I think that's a confirmation that his soft tyres have pretty much fallen off the cliff now.
Well, this might be a warning. If that's the case, this might be a warning shot for Tyne, because his gap is building, and we have a retirement in the pits. That is Spanias and McLaren. Not been the best day for McLaren. Devon also down in 19th. But yes, that was a critical error from Daniela, and now he's lost the lead and 2nd place as well. So at this rate, Top G could be our first repeat winner if he keeps it together. But Tyne on an alternate strategy, but falling behind, he's now out of the DRS window. This could be a sign his tyres aren't going to last that long. He might have to pit. and Top G in no danger at all as I speak, as we have a battle between the Alpha Males developing.
Well, we're seeing a battle raging between Toxic Tomato and Matteo. Matteo on the hards, Toxic Tomato on the softs. So I can imagine there's only going to be one winner here. It's just a matter of where Matteo decides to complete the overtake. He has a look into 130 RB, isn't going to do it there. So he'll probably do it on the pit straight. I think Toxic Tomato may try and allow him to go through, but no. Matteo reads it. Toxic Tomato slides through the Casio Triangle chicane. And he's struggling to find the grip out of the corner, and it's going to be a very easy overtake for Matteo to get past here.
So here comes Matteo.
That's an off for Ferrari of Marcus Costa. He did exactly what Daniela did and fell down the aisle as a consequence.
Yes, he did. Mohammed has overtaken Toxic Tomato for 5th place, it seems, as they were battling. And Armateo now is into 4th place and trying to gain a position on Daniela, but that's miles away by the looks of it, especially these fine margins, and it seems like miles away, 1.8 seconds. Ruti Hullet, no. Oh, he made a mistake! And he nearly touches Twist. He touches Twist and he nearly goes off. Oh, and that's Toxic Tomato out of the race. And we have a safety car.
Yes, and Toxic Tomato crashed on the approach to the hairpin. He has gone from this race. He must have been fighting it out with either Matteo or Daniela as he approached to it. We didn't quite pick up on it. We were focusing on the battle between Ruti Hullet and Twist. But unfortunately, Toxic Tomato's race has ended as far as lap 7. And we've got an early safety car. Good news for those who have already pitted block in the pits for a 3rd time in this race. He's going onto the hard compound now, and he should be able to go to the end of the race on those. But if you're Top G, what do? I think you're gonna have to pit, aren't you?
I'm afraid we have no choice. This might be a saving grace for Tyne and Daniela. They say their tyres are going to be off the cliff, so they do come in. Top 3 all come in. I think Armateo, no, he's coming in as well. I think they're all going to come in.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to all have the same strategy. It'll be who has the guts to make the moves. Does anyone have damage? LRB is choosing to stay out. Quite interesting. So he'll have the lead, unless he does pit the next lap. I don't see that happening. Top G, Tyne, Daniela, Armateo. I think it's almost the same as it was. I'm sure we're going to have... Christian Block is not going to pit, I know that, but he's miles behind. I can tell you that right, miles behind. He's lucky not to be lapped. He'll be staying at the back as soon as everyone bunches up. So he might as well... Well, he's not going to pit. I know Devon has to pit, obviously. There's nothing lost in that. But yeah, LRB deciding to hope there's another safety car and then take advantage of that. That could be one way to win a race. It's happened before.
Yep. Well, LRB's going to have to hope for that at some point later on in the race, because he's decided to play a massive risk here. I mean, to be honest, he hasn't got anything to lose given where he had qualified. So if he can take those hard sides as far as he can, there may be another safety car later on in the race. And if he can take them as far as then he's got every hope of salvaging something from this race. And even, I think the primary target for him is just to stay ahead of those who have pitted for the first couple of laps or so. Because we're going to be on the safety car for the next few laps now anyway. So that will kill off some of the laps of which LRB will need to do. And then if he can hold them off for the first 2 laps before DRS is enabled, then that could play into his hands later on.
Yep. I'm wondering what happened to Toxic Tomato. As I just remind, I did have the clip of Toxic Tomato. I did see what happened. He spun off. I think he might have... Did he push too hard? It happened in front of Ruti Hullet.
It was definitely in front of Hullet going into the hairpin, because he was running up there in 4th.
Lost it.
I think he may have lost it because he got in front of. I think Matteo got in front of him because Matteo was on the hard compound compared to Toxic Tomato, who was on the softs. I think Toxic Tomato just maybe pushed too hard, maybe caught the curve too heavily, and that threw him off the road.
Official, he did lose it on his own. So. LRB will be leading this race, the only driver not to pit. Quite an interesting strategy. He did start 12th, just for reference, for those of you who missed it qualifying. So Top G effectively in a net leader, ahead of Tyne, Daniela, Armateo, Twist, Teddo, Mohammed, Edrix, Ruti Hullet, Cherno, Marcus Costa, Lico Blocks, Daropad, Moustache, Renz, Devon, and Christian Block. The top winners of that, apart from LRB obviously, Twist gained 5 spots. Ruti Hullet gained 6 spots. It must have lost a lot of positions in the pit. Edrix has gained 5 spots. Cherno has gained 7. Lico Blocks has gained 7. The biggest losers, I have to say, are Mohammed, who is... oh yeah, he had to double stack, didn't he? So he's lost 5 positions from where he started. Ren's lost 9 after that first incident. Christian Block's lost 8. And Daropad has lost 6. So, of course, he had that incident as well. So it's not been the best for those, but of course we've got a long way to go. We're only a third through the race, and as soon as Christian Block, who has pit again, I might as well. As soon as we get him around, we're going to get racing again.
I think the safety car will come in at the start because I think Christian Block is going to catch up to the field by the time they go through the second time beam. So through the spoon curve now. I think the safety car will be going in at the end of this lap, Logan. We're a third of the way through the race, and LRB is at the head of the field on the road, but Top G at the moment, you have to say, in prime position to win this race.
Yes, indeed. So we're about to get underway again, are we? Are we? I don't think we are, actually. I don't think anything's happening. What's going on? Yeah, I don't see it coming in. It's not turning its lights off.
So that'll
I think we might have another lap.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Oh no, it's coming in.
It's coming in. I think this might have thrown some people off. This might have thrown some people off. What's going to happen? Oh, he's just holding them up. He's holding them up, as he should do, and this has caught everyone by surprise. I've seen this happen before. It doesn't usually come in at this late in the lap, but here we go again. We're underway, and there's absolute chaos happening in the middle pack. They're all fighting for a position. This is 4th place. There's also a fight going on for 7th place, and a fight for the lead. Top G's going to take the lead, and he's well ahead of Tyne. LRB's going to be a stopgap for Tyne, and between him and Top G there's a battle between Daniela and Twist into the curves. The S curves, and Twist in 5th, trying to defend his 5th position from Daniela, and Armateo as well. Armateo, they're going to go free wide. Are you serious? Are you serious? Free wide and Dunlop. That is insane. Insane. And LRB is losing positions like wildfire. Everyone coming at him. Twist is through into 4th. Daniela coming through into 4th. And there's a battle for 6th. That's Daniel and Teddo. Daniel gets up. Mohammed gets up. Alpine boys gaining positions. Ferrari's Marcus Costa gains positions. All hell breaking loose.
Yeah, honestly, that was probably the worst restart for LRB, if I'm honesty, because he's just getting totally swamped by the pack, and he's falling off like a domino as they come through. That overtake for Matteo was absolutely exquisite. I thought it was going to get a move done on both LRB and Tyne going into the dead curves, as Daniela gets through on LRB now, and he's up into 5th place.
Oh, and Daniela with a fantastic move in 130R. As LRB tries to defend this position, it's not working. He's got to come. He's got to be careful. Daropad gets a penalty. As now, Ruti Hullet is going to come for his position. There's a massive battle happening behind him. That's Devon gaining position. Daropad has dropped back. What's going on here? I don't know. Did he have damage? But Devon up into 14th now with all that chaos ensuing. And now Edrix is going to overtake his teammate. This is bad news for LRB. I think the strategy is absolutely backfired.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that, and Edrix is going to have to get a move done on his teammate. What does LRB decide to do? He hasn't let him go by, and that's going to allow those behind to really close in on Edrix. Edrix will want to get through on his teammate. Does LRB know that he's there? Yes, he does know that he's there. He leaves him enough space on the outside, and Edrix pulls off a nice overtake, and LRB does his best to hold off the rest to give Edrix some breathing space.
And he didn't back off either, maybe because he didn't want Cherno challenging his final points paying position as it stands. But now he's got all this work to do. He's got Marcus Costa, Renz. Renz is pretty much back in this race now, considering that he has got fresh tyres and he's not that much behind. And now he's going to make a move on Marcus Costa, and he does, as his teammate Cherno makes a move on LRB. Is he going to have a shot at 11th place. With LRB he is! And that's very dangerous, but they stay on the track, but Reds make a mistake, Marcus Costa, and Devon going to get past now it seems. Marcus Costa's going to get past LRB. LRB was defending so much that Renz was pretty much put off and made a mistake out of the Casio Triangle, as now he falls back down to 14th place. The lead, by the way, for Top G is 1.3 seconds, but he's got to finish the race, of course.
Yeah, Twist is in 4th position at the moment behind Matteo, who's on the mediums. So Twist, after falling foul, well, I say falling foul, after being questioned about his impeding of other drivers in qualifying, is on the move here in the race and making up for his melodies earlier on.
Hey, well, I didn't see Twist coming from anywhere tonight in this race. This race pace has been fantastic. It hasn't been the centre of attention, I have to say. That's been Time, Top G, Daniela, Ruti Hullett, but we've not seen much of Twist, and he's showing a great fight here tonight. Of course, there's only not even halfway yet, but he is showing some form. And now he's only getting closer to Armateo, a proven race winner on the mediums.
Mateo running in P3 behind Tyne as they come towards the Casio Triangle chicane once again. Top G remaining in the lead, over a second clear, so he's out of DRS range of Tyne, who's running in P2. Mateo in 3rd place. Are those mediums going to be able to go to the end?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a big ass. They're hoping for a safety car. That's what they're hoping, as the Alpines switch positions. That's Mohammed now into 5th, and it only makes Daniela's day even worse.
Seeing drivers going through the first ones, one of which went wide a little bit. I think it was the Haas of Moustache, who's not having the best of days. Block is up there in 15th position, but at least he's back in the race now. And now he's behind LRB, who is still struggling on those hard compound tyres that he's been on since the start of the race. And
speaking of hard tyres, one of them, Twist, is gaining on Armateo, who's on medium tyres. Surely they're not dropping off this quickly today, are they? Twist is giving it absolutely everything. He hasn't even got that much battery. They're both on low battery, and they're fighting like they're on even terms. It's insane. Twist is showing some fantastic race pace tonight, and I don't know where it's come from. But Top G and Time seem like running into the distance as it sounds, looking at that screen, looking at those intervals. Twist, what's he going to do here? Is he going to try and put some pile of pressure on Armateo and then pull the dagger into the front stretch? He's right on his tail. He can sense it. He can touch it almost. But Armateo's going to have the DRS as well, Tom.
Yeah. And they will use it to close in on Tyne, who's in P2. So Twist won't be able to get a move done this time around. We've seen Marcus Costa make up for lost time and getting past Cherno into the point scoring places. We've got Block getting ahead of LRB now. LRB continuing to go backwards down the pack. As Moustache, Little Box and Delapod are just fighting for scraps at the moment. And Delapod fighting out with Little Box like glue at the moment as the Aston Martin gets through.
Does indeed, up to 17th. Dadapad's now lost 10 positions. It's not what he wanted at all. Moustache coming up on LRB, who of course has lost so many positions after leading the field after the safety car, opting not to pit. The rogue dealer in this race deciding not to pit, and he's taking that shot. Oh, Lickleblocks going inside. Oh, he's touched LRB as well, and that's actually ghosted LRB. As Lickleblocks and Dadopad go to battle again, as Mohammed's got a penalty.
Yep, 3 seconds for track limits, that is for Mohammed, so he's going to have to make up for that in the remainder of the race. Now with track limit penalties, drivers are not able to serve that at their next pit stops. They'll have to be served at the end of the race. So Mohammed, who's running in P5 on track, now needs to make up the ground.
Oh, and Twist nearly loses it out of the Casio Triangle, and he's lost some crucial time to Armateo. He's going to have the DRS anyway, so all Twist can do is just gain the time he lost back, as the two Alpines are nearly coming together again. Are they doing a switcheroo tactic? Well, it doesn't seem like it. It was just trying to get up the order. But the gap now at the top is 2.3 seconds and sees no sign of coming down.
LRB running in 16th position. Top G at the head of the pack is over 2 seconds clear of Tyne. Matteo in third, Twist in fourth. You have to say it's probably going to be one of these four winning the race unless penalties take its toll on the drivers. Twist right all over the back of Matteo, but the issue he has is that Matteo is within a second of Tyne ahead.
Yeah, and that's not a good issue, and this might be good for Twist because our Matteo is now out. So, well, he was out of the range, but now he's back in the range. He's 1/10 in the range now. Tyne doesn't look like Tyne tonight. Honestly, he doesn't look as fast as he usually is. Because, yeah, he's in second place, but Top G is absolutely rattling on. It's insane to see him go so far ahead. Tyne, usually the one with the dominant pace, but he hasn't been able to win at all this season because of a lot of instances. But Twist now trying to get closer again to try and gain the position again.
Oh, that was a huge slide. Matteo lost it coming out of the Casio Triangle chicane and nearly put it in the wall as well. And that's going to allow Twist to go through and up into third place. So Twist going through in the Haas, up into the podium places.
And Daniela is through and Mohammed's lost position at Rutti Hullet. And now stuck in an Alpine sandwich. This shouldn't be too hard. But now Rutti Hullet making positions again. This is just showing that his last race was no fluke, and he's going to try and become the first repeat winner and back-to-back winner of the season. As the gap comes down to 2 seconds, actually, so Tyne is finding some gains, but he needs to find these gains for the next 12 laps as well at this rate. He needs to find 2 tenths a lap, and that sounds like a long way away, but remember, there could be a spanner in the works for safety cars, so they've got to be prepared for that. Mohammed, Matteo, both on medium tyres. Those are the front runners. Mohammed, of course, has a penalty, so that will be taken into account at the end. Tato is trying to get into 7th, though. The Alfa Romeo driver we don't see much of from his reserve. As Rutti Hullet piling the pressure on Daniela to 130R. We've seen this from a lot of drivers tonight. Rutti Hullet will... Oh, he's touched him! He's touched him into the Casio Triangle, but it doesn't look like much harm has been done. Just a little bang. And that's probably a warning to Daniela. It says, I'm coming for your position. And on the outside he goes, as there's another battle behind Tom.
Yeah, that's the Ferrari of Costa making a move on Edrix, it seemed, and he had to back out of it in the end. It was not quite there for both of them to get through the corner at the same time, so Costa has to stay behind for now. 11 laps to go. Top G still in the race lead with Tyne ahead of Twist. We've got 2 Williams of Matteo and Hullet in 4th and 5th places, and Daniela who's down to 6th place now after the overtake from Hullet, who has had a spellbinding race so far. It could get even better for him.
It could. Back to the position battle for, I think it was 5th it was, yeah, 5th or something. And behind that, it's just a long line of cars itching to get past. And it looks like Edrix is probably feeling heat at the moment. Mohammed too. Marcus Costa wants to get him past so fast. He just wants to get him out of the way. Marcus Costa, he got a pole in the first round of Brazil, if I remember correctly. And it's just trying to get back into the limelight, but he needs to get all these positions, and it's a long way away. But with the skills he's got in his inventory, he could get up the order, but we'll have to find somewhere to make a move. Edrix is closing up on Mohammed, by the way. He's not going to make the move, as he probably would. Twist is catching up on Tyno. Twist has got no DRS in front of him, Tyne, and he's going to lose a lot of time here, it seems, to Twist. Twist is in an absolute blinder today.
Don't know where he's found all this pace from, but it seems to be working for Twist. As we see LRB finally making his way into the pits. The hard sides have given up on him, so he will probably come back out on a set of mediums to go to the end of the race. But at least he can maybe try and go for a fastest lap.
Softs.
He's gone on softs, has he? Okay.
He needs a safety car. He'll take the lead if he does.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone will be in the softs as well, won't they?
There is Twist running in P3 behind Tyne as they go through the hairpin. And will Tyne keep hold of second place for between now and the Chicken Flow, because Twist is all over the back of him.
He is. And this is not looking good for Tyne. It looks like his wait for a win will have to go on as it stands. Top G is running away as it seems, but of course it's not over. As we have said, if something changes the race up, it will not be ideal for him at all. So here we go then. Twist is piling the pressure. Is he going to go for a move in the Castle Triangle? No, he thought about it, but decided against it. But here he goes. He's going to have his golden opportunity here to pass the championship leader, but he's lost a lot of time with that slide out there. That may mean... Oh, look at this! Armateo, I didn't even notice he was there. Armateo is right behind him, but Twist is getting closer and closer at time, but he was really itching to get past, but he can't get it pulled off. And now these three warriors are going to go in at the same time as Tedo is pushed off. Oh, and he's pushed Marcus Costa at the side as well, gives him a tap as he loses position to Edrix. Tedo now down to 10th place. He's not scored yet this season, by the way, and he wants to get on the board, but he's not going to do that with moves like that. He's not going to get anywhere, losing positions as well.
Costa, who's behind Edrix in the battle for 8th position as they close in on Mohammed, who's carrying a time penalty. As it stands with that 3-second time penalty, he'll drop probably down to 12th place, wouldn't it? As Renz makes a move on Tido into the hairpin, and that was a very clean overtake.
Very clean indeed, around the slowest part of the track, and it puts Renz into the points positions. The first race winner of the season, but hasn't been able to...
Oh no, there's contact between Renz and Tido as they went through the spoon curve.
Oh dear.
And it was very ambitious for the Alfa Romeo to make a move up the inside into spoon curve. That may be something for later, but Renz is ahead and Tido drops down to 15th place as a result.
And back to the second place battle. Twist is gaining, but so is Armateo. They need a perfect run out of this corner. It looks like Tyne is in a good spot for the moment. He has some energy to burn up and defend his position. Out he comes, it's so close. Tedo's made a mistake as well as they go in. No change at the front. And Tedo is going to have to pit, I think. Yeah, he's going to have to pit, and that might be the end of his chances of winning this race. And yeah, he's given up. He's throwing the towel. He's going into the garage, and that'll be his race over. As I see Liquid Blocks going around the outside, and he goes wide and will not be getting past Daropad for the meantime. So LRB will now be up to 17th, but still last place. The battle for second rages on as Top G. Every time these three battle, it makes Top G's gap bigger and bigger. And this guy's only a reserve, I think. This guy. Wait a minute. Yeah, he's a reserve, and he's going to have 2 race wins. This is insane.
Yep, Top G looking good for the victory at the moment. This victory would put him on to 32 points. He would move in front of Marios, he would move in front of Rusi Hullet, I think. He'll move in front of Mohammed and Maki, who's not in tonight. He'll go in front of Renz. Yeah, he'll be up quite a few positions in the championship, actually, would Top G, with the positions as they are. And now Twist, can he get a good exit coming out of the Casio Triangle chicane this time? Let's have a look. What's his traction like? It's not too bad,
right.
And he should be in the position to make the move now.
Here he comes then, Twist in the Haas. It's going to get the move on Tyne. Tyne loses second place, and into the second place he goes, and this is fantastic. Now, the question is, can he catch up to Top G with 7 laps to go? He has the pace, he has the guts, but does he have the passion? Does he have the will to win? Does Top G have enough left in the tank? He's got pretty much even battery left in their energy tank. So it looks alright for them, but Tyne now really needs to be careful because, okay, it looks like he'll still have the lead of the championship. He's ahead of his main title rival, Daniela, and Myros isn't here tonight, so whatever happens right now, he'll have the lead of the championship, but Armateo piling on the pressure now, and so is Daniela, who is in second place in the championship now. Twist, find somewhere where Top G struggles, gain from that, and you could be closer than ever to him. He needs to be within 1 second for the DRS.
Well, Top G and Twist are on similar ERS levels right now, but the problem that Twist is going to have is trying to fend off Tyne when they go through the
Of course.
DRS zone on the pit straight. So Twist has to get the best exit possible, otherwise Tyne's going to get back through ahead of him.
And Twist staying on the racing line in the Casio Triangle. How is their traction? Pretty even. Tyne's going to have a shot to get back at him as LB gets a penalty. Here he comes in. Tyne back into second position. But what's Twist got up his sleeve? We'll have to find out in the coming laps. But this is only helping Top G. Top G could become our first repeat winner and break the streak of unique winners. Unless there's another spanner in the works. Top G has what seems like a miles lead. I don't know what's happened to Tyne and all the others. They just seem to caught up on Top G, who, to be fair, dominated his race in Bahrain. And now he has the chance to do the same after the safety car. This has all been Top G tonight.
I'm looking to see how much ERS Tyne has got left. He's actually got about 20% more than what Top G has currently, as they make their way through the sweeping right-hander, and as they come towards the Spoon corner. And Top G still needs to manage that gap at the moment. All he needs to do is just stay out of that 1 second window, and then victory should well be his by the end of this race. Twist in third, Matteo fourth, and we've got Daniela, who needs to get in front of Tyne here to close down the gap in the championship race, but he's going to have his hands full with Matteo and Twist in front of him.
Top G just playing it cool then, coming through Casio Triangle. But here we go again, the same battle's about to rage on again. Twist coming out of the Casio Triangle will now have another look at taking second place away from Tyne once again. He's got the absolute run, but he's got to watch Matteo behind. Oh no, he's staying behind, is he? Is he playing tactical here, Twist? I think he is. I don't think he wants to wait. Now he knows that it's easy to get past. I think he's just holding his move for later stages of this race. And that's quite an interesting one. I think Twist now can just hold back, but he's got to be careful not to hold back too much. Matteo and Daniela are waiting in the wings. So is Rooty Hullett, to be fair. Top G now has to hope that there is no last second twist to ruin his chances of winning, as there's a battle for 15th. I'm just keeping an eye on this, a battle for 15th between Darapad and Lickle Blocks.
They're fighting for their own position. This is not for points, by the way, in case you're wondering, although Lickle Blocks will want to try and get in front. Can't do it there, but there's Top G, your race leader. Tyne still in P2 with Twist holding third place ahead of Matteo, whose mediums are surely beginning to fall away by this point.
They are, and oh goodness me, that's Darapad and Lickle Blocks fighting, and Darapad gets through and gives him a tap, saying, thanks for the position, mate. But Lickle Blocks is like, no, give me that back. Give me that back. But he's not going to get it in the spoon curve, it seems. Now the question is, will Matheo's medium tyres hold up? Now Twist, he doesn't seem like he's getting much of a run on Tyne coming out of that corner. And this is looking better and better for Top G. I think we might have our first repeat winner, but it will still be Tyne at least the championship. Oh my goodness, Twist was right behind Tyne there. And I think he must have given him a tap as well. Matteo and Daniela coming through as well. This is a 4-car battle for second place. This could go down to the wire. We've got to be careful though. If they make a mistake, this could not just ruin their race, it could ruin Top G's chances of winning, because they'll all be pitting and all. With this time left, and there'll be another safety car. This might be the last lap you could possibly have a safety car, so everyone's got to be really careful when they come to blows, because one slight mishap could change the entire race.
Tyne doing his best to keep hold of second position as it stands. With the positions as they are, who's got the fastest up of the race at the moment? That would be Tyne as well, which is important for his championship chances. He will be on course for 13 points in this race. Daniela would be collecting only 6, so the gap at the top would increase to 14 points between the top two.
Oh my goodness, Darapad and Little Blocks coming side by side, approaching spoon curve, but Darapad wins it out in the end. Meanwhile, look at how close these three are getting. These close, they're so close. Twist, Matteo and Daniela, they've got to be careful though. They've got to be careful because they know what happens if they pull off the wrong move. Here we go, 3 laps to go. 4-way battle for second place. Twist thinks of a move, doesn't pull it off in the end, but he knows when to pull it off, and I can tell you that, as Littlepot's and Battlepad are still battling, by the way.
Further behind, Costa is in 7th position. He's yet to score a point so far this campaign, so he's on course to achieve that. Edric's in 8th, who is already finished in the points twice this season. He's done so in the last 2 rounds. He's on course for his 3rd points finish in a row. Matteo, meanwhile, who went into this race 4th in the championship, well, he's about to...
Oh my goodness. Sorry, Littleblocks get touched out of her again. Littleblocks lucky not to lose it. What's going on at the front again then?
So it's still Tyne in P2, Twist staying in touch, as is Matteo, as is Daniela, as is Hullet now, who's got into this fray.
Oh boy! Just like Silverstone 2022, we have 5 cars separated by what seems like 1/10, going for second place, while Top G runs away with it. He's still got to finish first. There won't be a safety car coming out at all, as Twist makes a massive run on time, gets a good gap. Renz gets ahead of Mohammed at 1:30. Nice move. But here we go, Twist. Now, how much is he going to close up? I doubt he's going to make the move, especially with this the second to last lap, with Time giving him a run on the last lap. But he might go for it here, I tell you. No, he's not. But he's going to have a massive close gap. That's 1/10. That's pretty good. But not as good as Top G, who's 2.5 seconds and only singing his own praises at this rate. This is a fantastic performance by him once again, as the second place battle rages on through the S's. Every driver trying to keep it on track. They're probably gritting their teeth so hard that they might all fall off, and they have to get... Well, let's not think about that. But there we go. This battle doesn't seem it will ever end.
Seem like it, does it? And Tyne doing his best. Top G continuing on in the race lead, on course for his 2nd win of the season, which will move him on to 32 points. And hoping to throw himself into championship contention, even though he's actually a reserve this campaign. I wouldn't be at all surprised, given the number of times the reserves are being called up this season. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him all of a sudden in the championship race if he keeps turning up with performances like this. So we're looking at Tyne now in 2nd place. Next time around, Logan, will be the last chance for these drivers to make an overtake.
Indeed. I'm just checking if there's... warnings for any driver. It doesn't look like Top G has got a warning. No, Top G has had an absolutely clean race. No warnings at all. As we go into the final lap of this race, maybe the final chance Twist will ever have of winning this 2nd place from Tyne. He's not going to get it even close to Tyne, who has a lot of energy left in his battery. And that might be the last chance, because there's not much places to make a move here, as Marcus Costa was fighting for 7th. And Christian Block has went wide and lost 2 positions to Devon and Cherno, and Littleblocks has gained a 5-second penalty for cutting a corner. That must be at Casio Triangle, and he's now on the board as well. But look at how close Daniela is getting to Armateo. This is a 4th, and Armateo's tyres must be shot to the head right now. It's absolutely struggling, but he has to get this defence in Daniela as he tries to make up for lost positions after starting on pole, but it looks like Top G is almost home and dry.
Yes, and he's going through the spoon curve for the last time. The battle for 2nd place looks to be very much sewn up now between here and the checker flag. Daniela right behind Matteo now. I'm not sure if he's going to have enough time to make the move, to be honest with you. So we'll go back to the leader, Top G, who has had a very commanding race today, thrown in as a reserve. And he's made the most of the track in qualifying, maintaining the lead throughout, and untroubled ever since. It's coming through the last corner now. Top G wins the Japanese Grand Prix in F3 in the PSGL, but we've seen a drag race in the line between the Williams, and Matteo gets 4th position. Ruti Hullet beats Daniela to the line, so Daniel drops to 6th place. Marcus Costa, 7th, Edrix, Renz and Mohammed, who will keep hold of 10th position. Cherno, Moustache, Devin, Block, LRB, Dalopad and Littleblocks with the rest of the finishers. But Daniela dropping a point in the championship race there by falling to 6th place at the expense of Ruti Hullet.
Oh, maybe side by side for 16th place! But it will be Darapad that gets 16th place as they get fighting for not to be last on track, but it's Lickle Blocks that suffers that unfortunate demise. But wow, Top G, I noticed he was slowing down, and I know why, because he had to conserve a lot of fuel. That's why I was going, oh, hang on, has he got enough fuel? But no, he had enough fuel to get to the end. He's just conserving his tyre, as he should be. And he is the first repeat winner of the season, and that's his only points he had before then, was that win in Bahrain, which he dominated, and now he's on to 32 points in this season. That's probably why he had the advantage. He had probably used up his fuel much more, but as the other drivers, but left some in the tank, and as a result, was much faster.
So the drivers celebrating on the podium. What a race for Twist as well, to get up to P3 from where he was outside the top 10. Run down on the race order. Top G wins, tying second place and getting the fastest lap. Twist third, Matteo fourth, and it's Ruti Hullett in fifth. Hannah Daniela, Marcus Costa, Edrix, Renz, and Mohammed completing the top 10 point scorers. Cherno was 11th, followed by Moustache and Devon. Christian Block, ILRB, Dalopad and Nickel Blocks the rest of the finishers. Tito, Toxic Tomato, and Spanias with the rest of the finishers. Well, with the results as they are, time picking up 13 points, Daniela only picking up only 5. That sees Tynes leading the championship increase from 7 to 15 points. Top G's win moves him up to 3rd place now in the championship table. No, 4th, I should say, because he won the race, and Mateo's moved up to 3rd as a result of his 4th position today. What a race, Logan. Is it worth getting some interviews done and perhaps maybe speak to the race winner, Top G?
Let's see. Let's see if we can get him. But Twist getting 3rd place as well. That's an impressive performance. Twist, by the way, has only 8 points. He only first scored in round 4, got a 7th place, and then got a 7th place for the next race after that. But now he's got a podium.
So, whilst we are waiting for an answer from those that finished on the podium, just waiting to see. They may decide to spare a few minutes to speak to us about how their session has gone this evening. You have to say, with the run of form that Tyne is in, 5 podiums out of a possible 6, even though he hasn't won a race this season, you have to say he is firm favourite to win the championship, you would say.
Yes, indeed. Only no wins yet. So, I should mention now, Twist is the 10th driver to get a podium this season. BB, of course, Tyne has the most at 4, and I only think 3 other drivers have scored a double podium. Make that 5, because Top G, of course, got 1. So it doesn't look like we're going to hear from Top G tonight. Unfortunately, because of course he just said no in the Discord. This will take Tyne to 18 points tonight. Not Tyne, Twist to 18 points after that. Tyne will now be on 57. Did he get the fastest lap?
Tyne got the fastest lap, yeah, so he gets that.
So he'll be on 57. Top G will be on 32, and that will take him up above Marios in the championship, despite only finishing in the points twice. Only finishing the points twice. He DNF'd the last 2 races and only finished 16th in Silverstone. He's not got a mic. Has our Top G? I think our Matteo will go to. He finished 4th. No, 5th. No, 4th. He did finish 4th. We'll take him up to 34, and now he will be in 3rd place in the championship. Daniela down to 6th, not good for him. He's down to 42 points, and now you'll be 15 points behind if that is the case. If these results stand, Ruti Hullett will go up to 30 points, so still behind Top G. Top G will now be 4th in the championship, despite only finishing in the points twice. Both wins.
So we're just waiting on whether Twist or Time will speak to us in the commentary position. We'll give it a few more minutes, and if we don't,
We might hear from Twist. I think we should actually. Well, that happened. Why does he let us join our party? No, I'm supposed to invite you. Don't know why he's invited me. Let me get it. Technical difficulties!
Yep. Twist's performance today has given him 10 championship points, because the point system in the PSGL is different to real life Formula 1. So that moves Twist from 8 to 18 points. He goes in front of Tom, he goes in front of Little Blocks, he goes in front of Christian Block, goes in front of Pedro Vasquez and LRB. And Twist has kindly joined us in the commentary position. And how was the race from your perspective tonight?
I can hear. Sorry, Tom. I can hear my voice echoing. Twist, can you ask you to turn it down if that's possible? Do you not have a headphone?
A great race. Sorry, my English is so bad, but great race. Bad quali. I have the pace for the P7, P5 on qualification, and I could finish P2, but my first feedback have a red and stay P3 to secure. Thanks to Zeke, my engineer, for my help. And great pace in race. It's bad for my first feedback, and I'm very happy for my first podium.
Yes, impressive work there, Twist. Third consecutive podium, points finish after, of course, Qatar and Australia finished 7th in both. Your third consecutive points finish after after 2 no-shows and 1 non-points finish. So you're picking up pace here. You're now on 18 points, equal with the like of I think Riley Mackay, who wasn't here this week. So you're making your way up the order. It's good to see.
I don't have understand.
Oh, sorry.
I'm very bad in English.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't worry. It's me.
Yeah, don't worry. I think what he's trying to say is you're moving up higher up in the championship with the amount of points that you're gaining in the last few rounds. Where's the pace come from tonight?
My pace for the championship, P5, P6. I know.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the only interviewee tonight, it doesn't seem like Tyne and Top G want to, will be available tonight, so it's just you tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Imola next week as well. How are you feeling for that particular circuit?
Great feeling.
Well, anyway, we just want to say well done anyway, Twist. Thank you for speaking to us, and best of luck for the remaining rounds of this season.
Thanks for this stream. Good
night.
No
problem.
Bye bye.
Right, good night. All right. And oh wait, we're still live.
Yes, we are. So I think the fact that Tyne and Top G haven't got the time to speak to us, I think it's probably best to end the stream there, Logan. Thank you for joining me in the commentary position. In the commentary position. One final mention to PSGL's title sponsors that are GT Omega. You can use PSGL at the checkout to get 5% off on any GT Omega products, so like gaming chairs or rigs or anything like that. Do make sure you follow us on X, not Twitter nowadays.
I'm still calling it Twitter. Calling it Twitter. It still says Twitter in domain name, so I'm calling it Twitter. Don't care what you say.
Okay. Well, there's also Instagram. There's the Discord chat in case you wish to join. There's a website as well to find out all the latest involving the league. And the next round of the championship will be at Imola next week. So, Logan, we'll end it there. Thank you for joining me. Thank you everyone for watching this evening. If you haven't done so, do make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you again next Monday for the latest round, round 7 at Imola. I'm Tom Cairns, he's Logan, and we'll speak to you again soon when the PSGL returns.
Night night.